I am Paul. Justin's back with us.
This is the new year of 2022. Boom, boom, lemon. So disappointed that's not real. That must be the most devastating thing I've learned. It's already the beginning of 2022.
So today,
I'm not letting Paul look. He'll find out whenever we see. You know, or he sees this video back, he'll look us on the board.
oh God. Alright, today we are talking about the best films
Of 2021. We take that long look back down the 365 days that passed.
And honestly, 2021 was a big year because it was, during the midst of the middle of the pandemic. So these films, some of them went to streaming, which is fine.
Yeah.
Streaming.
I'll put a few up that were just streaming movies.
So have I. So it is all good.
And it was an interesting year too because we missed a lot of movies when they came out originally, and then had to scramble to rewatch them.
Yeah.
There's one on your list I haven't even gotten to yet. I will at some point, maybe. It's really long.
We're on back order of watching movies in 2021.
2022 will be better, but
yeah, because we're just going to produce so much content because there's so much going on. Let's get started with your.
You know what? It's always interesting when we make these lists because we'll weigh them against invisible quantities that nobody else sees but you, and I guarantee you it won't be what you're thinking. Well, except for Paulie, who's base as fuck.
What?
Boring.
No.
Boring list.
No. But let's get started. Let's start with your number 10 of the year.
My number 10 is Malignant.
Now it's trippy.
Yeah, it's trippy. If you had seen our video when we talked about Malignant, it didn't score very high for me, but the things Malignant did, like Annabelle Walls did
yeah.
really well selling this character. The fear, the confusion.
The innocence.
Yeah, how innocent she was. And then the twist that will stay with you long after the movie's over. You don't see it coming. It gave me strong Beyond Two Souls vibes, and I thought that was the direction they were going. It kind of was, but it was not at the same time. And for that reason, Malignant scored number 10.
I gotta be honest, the twist at the end, they left it completely blank of what, for the longest part of the movie, you thought it was a twin.
Yeah, I thought, like I said, Beyond Two Souls, there's a spiritual vibe going on around her kind of deal, or else an actual entity.
You didn't think it was growing out of her head, and that they basically...
Spoiler warning.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it.
Too late!
It will be in the description of the video, as always. My number 10 is a late addition.
This almost made my list.
Is Mortal Kombat that came out. Yeah.
There's several things that caused it. I really loved it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh no, so did I. It's crazy because when we were making this list, there was more movies that we just kept going back and forth on, and Mortal Kombat was definitely one of them. Either so, if there was just a top 20 list, it would be in the top 15. But I like the more gritty approach that they took. Yeah. They seem to go more towards the
They stay true and with bloody fatalities, big time.
And they didn't give you too much, and they didn't give you too little.
Well, the problem is one, there's no tournament here.
That is true.
I get it, you're saving the tournament. Yeah. Fine, I'll give you that. You gave away every ending of every fight in the trailers.
It was early this came out in April?
Yeah, something like April.
So, good.
The trailers ruined this movie because they showed you everything.
That is true. There was no surprises.
Every time a fight would start, it's you knew how this was ending because they showed you in the trailer.
The only thing that was the new character there, now I'm drawing a blank on what his name was.
Kano.
Kano
ran away with this movie.
Yeah. The family connection with Scorpion. I don't know enough about the video games to really like that idea. I don't know if that was in the video games, that his Scorpion's descendants were.
It probably is, but I don't remember it that much.
Right.
And you don't remember Mortal Kombat for the story.
Yeah, so I appreciate the fights. no real surprises. Everything pretty much was, like you said, in the trailers. But nevertheless, I thought The Rebound, and I know they had so much time to make this a better film than, Part 2 back in 97.
Oh, Part 2, they rushed the hell back. Like, they should have done it.
Right. So I thought this put the franchise back on a good track. And it was...
It needed the song, too. They need to get the rights to the song in the next one.
All in due time, I would hope.
They need that song.
But it was still a good film.
It was a fun ride. I'm not a basher. Fun ride. But the thing that kept it off my list was the trailer thing.
Just ruin it. No surprises for you. Well, that's my number 10.
I'm going to go from talking about the trailer showing too much to them not advertising enough. Because Psych 3, This Is Gus, is my number 9. And I didn't even know this movie dropped until you told me, like a week and a half after
Let that sink in, guys. Is that I had to tell him, and you've been a Psych fan.
I was a Psych fanatic forever, since the show was running. Loved Psych. And I didn't know this movie dropped. Like, there was no buzz around this movie.
The reason why it caught my attention, I didn't get to watch, but like for me to tell you, was I was watching something on Peacock, and in their first couple of seconds of advertisement, they literally showed like a 10-second clip of this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, there's gonna be a Psych 3, and that's when I text you and was like,
I watch Raw. Like, you guys, Peacock owns the streaming rights to the pay-per-view. You think they'd want to stick some of their stuff on the commercial. But regardless, Psych 3 is a blast. James Rodriguez and Due Hill. They've got such great chemistry as Sean and Gus. The fight scene in the bathroom is over the top in every great way possible. And then you got Timothy Amunzen, who can pull an emotional scene out of nowhere with little ease. This is the best movie they've done so far. And if you're not a fan of it, go check it out. Go check out the show.
The show and watch them all in order?
No, you don't have to watch them all in order. Okay. But Psych 3, This Is Gus is easily number 9.
My number 9 was kind of...
Number 9. Number 9.
My number 9 is Dune.
That's the one I haven't seen.
It was long. I will say that. It was very long. And to be honest, I didn't think I would like it at first. I gave a review, but as I went back and still thought about it, I started to like it more and more because it is sci-fi. The movie takes place like in year 10,000, and it's about basically, it's like Star Wars meets, like Star Trek meets everything.
Tremors with the words.
It ended, it's about betrayal. It's about, somebody that was he was a prince or a duke, and he's growing now to lead this revolution to get his family's revenge. This movie is part 1 of a 2-part
extravaganza.
Yeah, and the second part will come out in the next couple of years. Obviously, I found out there's more books, so there's more stories to be told. So this film and the next film is only book 1.
And this being a remake, it's really good to introduce a generation of people who have not watched the first film or seen them or read the books into this universe.
And it's slowly getting you to go and pick up the book and read it. So it was also the first bigger budget film that was streaming both in theaters and on HBO Max that garnered a lot of money, even at doing both. So, Dune is my number. Yeah, it hit like 500 million or something.
Well, yeah, I guess Halloween Kills wouldn't have been big budget.
Yeah, so Dune is my number 9.
Oh, my number 8. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Can't believe it's made the list. Spiral.
The next film of the Saw series.
I've never been more tired of a series than Saw. I stopped after 3. I couldn't do it anymore. Saw 2 was fantastic. I saw the writing on the wall with Saw 3. Then they kept going.
And going.
But then Spiral came out, wanted to shake up the genre, or new twist and new direction. And they did it really well. I thought the traps made sense for the victims in there. They weren't just traps for traps' sake, but they fit the story of the movie. The characters were really well. I think Chris Rock sold the hell out of this and did so damn well. And his character as Marcus, I believe.
Yeah.
He was so great in this movie. Just seeing him just so dejected and browbeaten because he did the right thing, and he was just getting punished for that throughout the movie.
Way.
Yeah. And then he finally opened up just to get cut down with the legs at the end, and you just see that look of defeat on his face.
And how his dad
Yeah.
died because he was part of the game the whole time was wicked, and knowing that spoilers, if his rookie partner was the actual killer.
Yeah. I told you, like, I thought it was the chief.
Yeah.
I thought it was her.
Yeah.
They got me. I thought it was her.
They got you. After all these movies we watched, they got you.
I fell for the stupidest thing. I listened to the voice. I'm like, that's a higher pitched voice. That's got to be her. She's taking it out on these asshole cops. That's what's happening.
So I did like it myself. I just thought the Saw series played itself out. Like, this movie would have been good for a part 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Not 9 or 10, I think.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Spiral for me.
Yeah. I thought the Spiral, though, took it back to the roots, and you could build off of Spiral like you couldn't build off from, like, 3 onward because it was done.
The Jigsaw had like 8 different apprentices that were never mentioned, and copycats. Like I said, this film would have been perfect for like the final film of the Saw series in like part 5.
Yeah, but this felt like a new beginning because you can run with.
Oh yeah, they're going.
You can run with this.
They're
guy.
going to.
And bring Chris Rock back in, and he's just like zeroed in. He's
and they left it where there's a story too, because Chris Rock's character and his partner's character, which direction are they going to go?
Yeah.
They did leave it kind of like a cliffhanger there, so that was actually pretty good. It just, for me, I've seen all the films. This film felt like it could have been part 5 rather than what we got. My next film was The Ice Road, starring Liam Neeson, and so it's a simple, down-to-earth movie where they use trucks and they use what little bit of Liam's fighting skills he has left in the tank at his age to maximize it. Basically, the story was pretty much basic, and a little bit corruption. But I love the parts they use with the trucks. I love their fights, driving the trucks and driving the trucks on the ice. That was a good little touch. And as you all know, we were tractor-trailer drivers, so I always love seeing a movie with a truck in it. I don't know why, but the emotions.
You're secretly a 12-year-old child. Truck go boom boom.
No, they did a lot of nice things. If this movie was, it caught my attention because of the trucks, but it was actually a good little corruption with miners and coal miners and corporation greed. It was safety. It blended some real issues in the corporation world into this film. So overall, it was a good film.
I didn't watch this one either because I didn't want to watch this one.
That's why there's 2 of us.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Exactly.
You can review Top Gun this year.
I bought tickets for him to go see it with me.
Guess who's not going? Is that joke? Where's Justin?
All right, your next film.
My number 7. I didn't number them.
Yeah.
My number 7 is Ghostbusters Afterlife. I thought, like we were talking with Spiral being like the spiritual sequel.
Yeah.
This one is a spiritual sequel. This one could have been slotted right in before number 2 even, and been perfect. Because I thought they did such a great job of making it feel like it was like the 90s kind of feel to it. Like having it in a small little town location really helped you like kind of date it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
While not dating it at the same time.
Right.
I thought the cast was perfect. I thought following his granddaughter was a great choice. You had a great little send-off with Harold Ramis's ghost appearing at the end.
Yeah, that was that teared everybody up, and it was like obviously, he passed away. But today's technology with what they did to get him into the film, that obviously they got the family's permission to do that.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for that, because that was that was his send off from the fan base, and it's crazy that movies can now give us
something like
stuff
that.
like that. It's incredible.
It can be cash grabby at times. I feel like they shouldn't have sold his action figure as a ghost.
Yeah.
But this movie just had a lot going on with it.
Passing of the torch was the appreciation that I got from it.
It could have been viewed as a passing of the torch, or it can be a good endpoint.
Yeah.
Even.
The post-credit scenes, it's going to probably dictate where the franchise is going to go after this.
Yeah.
But for right now...
I would say, like, how much money did it make, but I can't think you can factor that in this past year
no,
because of the
I
pandemic
think,
and everything.
I think, with a lot of movies going to streaming, there's... if it made somewhat of a profit, but not a big enough one, it's probably still going to get seen.
Yeah.
Which, this film, off its budget, actually still went.
Yeah. It's so hard to gauge this year. But
the pandemic
budgets.
year, Ghostbusters is definitely in the top 10.
Yeah.
Though Spider-Man kind of proven...
Spider-Man just...
Spider-Man's proving everybody wrong right now. And that's on my list too, down a little bit.
Yeah, we'll talk about Spider-Man when we get to it, because of course it's...
Well, I'm referring to Ghostbusters. It's on my list
Ghostbusters.
too, but it's down on the list because of the same things. I appreciated that. My number 7 film is Tom and Jerry. It was a cute little callback. If this was probably a better year, maybe this film wouldn't be where it's at. But I thought they did a lot of things right with some of the actors that they had in it. The graphics were on point. The laughs weren't fully there for me per se, but I caught some of their little jokes, and it was good enough. Could this film have been better? Sure. But what can you do with Tom and Jerry? One that hasn't been done, and
not make a live action movie.
Maybe so, but it was good enough for a top 10.
It's more of a blend between live action.
Yeah, basically the computer animated it was only, and that's the weird thing. Like the animals interacting with the real world, you didn't know if they were like what's going on, and they never made that clear. In the cartoon, it's a cartoon, but who knows? If there's something that comes after this, maybe it'll be a little bit better. But for now, it is number 7 on my list.
My number 6. On another year, another time, this could have been number 1. And this one could have been my number 1.
You were in love with this film.
I still am in love with this film.
You are in love with this film.
Boom Boom Lemon. It's number 6 is Kate. Oh my God, I love this movie. Oh, it was so much fun. The fight scenes were so fun. The colors were gorgeous. The scenery, the atmosphere of it being like Japan. Mary Winstead Elizabeth. Is that how
I think so.
Mary. It's gonna bother me, but
it's always gonna bother.
It takes a really great actress to make you care about a character that's doomed. Yeah, oh no, it flies by.
And that's the thing too. No, you sent me.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
You sent me the you told me to watch this.
Yeah.
This was your idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this was my idea.
Yeah.
But Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she really did an excellent job of making you care about a character that you knew going in
was going to die. Like no matter what.
And she did. This movie was just so much fucking fun. It's so much fun. Boom Boom Lemon. I'm devastated.
That's your quote of the year.
Boom Boom Lemon is...
That's going to be our taglines now, probably.
Boom Boom Lemon. This could be that on Fee's shirt from now on, just Boom Boom Lemon.
My number 6, and I wish it wasn't during the pandemic year. I wish it was a little bit more build up. It's Godzilla versus Kong. This franchise was to reintroduce Godzilla to the American.
It didn't need it. The one in the 90s was fantastic.
Some people wanted Godzilla to return to the looks of Godzilla, though the looks of Godzilla
were wrong.
Anyway, we have Godzilla versus Kong. We've seen this film before early in the Japan series. But this did everything right. The trailers was kind of deceiving because they...
It was not. You figured out the entire movie from
Yeah,
the trailer.
you knew, well, promoting Godzilla as the bad guy for the longest time until you actually watch the film was probably stupid because...
No one believed it.
That too. And there was the first two films that it was clear as day, if Godzilla's going to do something, it's because he's provoked. That's why he reawakens to go off and do something, because he actually is on the human side. But somehow, over the course of the two films and what he did in King of Monsters and everything like that, the humans forgot that he was the good guy, and they're trying to use...
You're trying to sell this as your favorite.
Yeah.
Stop selling the flaws.
But either way, the matchup was good between those two. They gave each one like a quick round. The introduction of Mechagodzilla, you knew that was going to be the hidden villain. Those two coming together and destroying them because...
It wasn't hidden, Mecha was in the trailer.
Well, that was like the third trailer.
Who cares? You put him in the trailer.
Yeah, they should have kept him out altogether. Definitely the way you were promoting the film. But that is my number 6, Godzilla versus Kong.
I told you we'd discuss, sprinkle it in there, the worst movies, we think are the worst movies. If we did a worst list, Godzilla vs. Kong would have been high up on mine.
So would have been The Conjuring.
The Conjuring would have been number goddamn one.
The Devil Made Me Do It.
Number 1 is that one.
We forgot we even watched that film.
I wish I did.
But go with your next film.
My number 5 is Cruella. They made Fashion War exciting to watch.
I loved it.
It was just so much, just all the fashion battles between Cruella and the one woman was so much fun to watch. It was a delight. They took a character that I didn't think they'd be able to redeem, because it's like, she's trying to kill dogs, and she's trying to kill dogs here. And they made her
the one scene where she does walk out of the Dalmatian code? I'm like, Disney really went there all over.
They did such a good job at selling you on the idea, because we knew going in she would.
Yeah. Remember, this was a kid's cartoon. She was skinning dogs.
But they did such a good job at they did a good job redeeming this character, making her like a character you want to pull for. Having Emma Stone obviously helped a lot.
Great actress to play that role. Honestly, my take was like, if they do make a part 2, because the biggest thing is the dogs. Yeah. Because the film ends, the dogs were like her henchmen almost.
Yeah.
So how does she go from, keeping dogs, Dalmatian dogs, as her henchmen to going, I'm just going to start skinning puppies?
Honestly, the biggest thing they could have done to help themselves out in the sequel is by have her actually skin those dogs.
Maybe she had to put them down.
Like show that she'd actually killed those dogs and made that outfit.
Oh my!
Because at least she would have put that out there that she would do it.
I mean, they have to explain the connection points.
Because now you have to get her to a point where she will do it.
Yeah, she wasn't there. She was nowhere near that point.
Yeah.
Obviously, she was more trying to, get revenge and take down a fashion empire.
Become the fashion empire.
Yeah, and what she actually did with the methods that she was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would like the film as much as I did this year, but...
No, I thought it was going to be bad. I'm like, it's Cruella.
Yeah, but
they sold it. They sold it.
They sold it to us. My next film, my number 5, is Red Notice, starring Ryan Reynolds and The Rock. And what can you say about that tag team?
I don't say anything. I didn't watch the movie.
You had both